G'day, beard brethren, Sheilas, fuckheads, and just all-round legends. How the fuck are ya? I am your host, Rousey, and that is Adrian. Welcome to Two Beards, a podcast and Wrexham AFC, the podcast all about Wrexham, brought to you from Australian fans. That's right, we from down under, if you can't tell by our luscious, sexy accents. But my host is there, Adrian, mate, back for another week.
Yeah, I mean, we're an Australian podcast because when you can surmise the weekend for Wrexham, it's just fucked. It's just fucked.
It's fucked, but she'll be right, mate. She'll be right.
She'll be right, mate. Walk it off. She'll be right. Cup of cement. She'll be right.
But we'll get into those games. But first of all, we've got to get through some housekeeping as we do every week. We have a website, twobeardsmedia.com. We also have a patron-only program, which we call our fuckheads, and we love our fuckheads. It'll cost you $5 a month. It'll get you access to a fans-only Discord, get you discount off merch. We'll also get you shout-outs on the pod every single week.
Yeah, fuck.
And giveaways and a whole lot more just in our private little Discord. $5 a month. It's brilliant. Adrian, who are we shouting out this week?
Mate, we got a new fuckhead. And I'm gonna start. We got the Dubai Reds man himself, Reese. Mate, thank you for becoming a fuckhead and joining the brethren of just, I don't know, fuckheadedness. But no, it was really good to have you there, mate. And I'm sorry that the first time you join us is over after a loss, but hopefully you'll get to celebrate with us next weekend in the FA Cup. But to list the rest of them off, I'm going to go with Sarah, John, Will, Aaron, Chris, Jake, Ryan, and this Chris.
Rouse, that's me.
I always like to finish it off with Rousey because there's nothing better than finishing it off with Rousey.
Oh yeah, that's right. I like to finish things off.
Anywho, I thought I'd get in there with the innuendos today, so there we go. But honestly, thank you guys for being fuckheads. It's really cool to be a part of this really cool community, and God, let's just keep moving.
Right, let's keep moving. That's right. Links down below if you want to join up with all of that, and by all means, like, share, and subscribe the absolute shit out of this episode, and comment down below if you got something to say. Reach out to us. But other than that, let's just rip the band-aid off. Oof. It's fucked. Let's go. Oof. We're gonna review the Newport game. Let's go.
Oof.
Woo!
I don't want to do it.
So, Adrian.
Yep.
We lost, mate.
I can't even look at you in the eyes, mate.
Fucking lost. We lost.
Yep.
It is depressing.
Yep.
But should we be worried?
No.
Nah, of course not. She'll be right.
She'll be right, mate. It's a blip on the radar. On the radar.
Yeah, that's right. And I think I called it actually with the when we had the old Marky G on. And I said basically that Wrexham struggle on small enclosed in pitches. And sure enough, they fucking struggled again. Now, given the fact that it was a 1-0 loss, and when Newport came to us no more than a couple of weeks ago, we beat them 2-0. But still, we go away to Newport, and it was shocking. It was hard to watch. It was hard to watch.
It was hard. And I think the biggest thing about the weekend was we made some changes due to injuries and resting. And I know we've got a big cup game the following week. And I think, we got a bit complacent. As fans, we got complacent. We're talking 3-0 wins. We're thinking it's in the bag. And it was Newport's big day, but it's everyone's big day, right? It's everyone's big day when they come up against big Wrexham. But honestly, kudos to them. That was their final, man. Like, they're going to get smashed by Man U in the FA Cup next week. And then that's it. Like, their season's done. They're going to finish 14th and that's it. But that's the bitter side of me coming out. The positive side is that they obviously Newport just looked like a different outfit to what they put on the park against us at the racecourse. Will Boyle, I'm sorry, but fuck, I hate doing this. I don't like to be this guy, but I think that's the last time we've seen him, mate.
I just got to
That's
stop
the last
you right
time.
there, right? Newport played exactly the same way they played us at the racecourse, and they started off quick. They were harassing us. They were closing down the spaces really quick. It basically was a picture for picture, exact same start as it was at when they came to the race course, except we were able to grind them down. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh, I've seen this before. I've seen them do this before. This looks exactly the same. So, but then 17 minutes in, and we'll talk about this now. Will Boyle. So we will bring them up. We will talk.
Honestly, bro, like I mean, I'm the one who wanted to bring this into the fray. I'll finish him off. The guy's cooked. He's done. He's never going to play in a Wrexham shirt again, and that is as harsh as I can be, honestly. Yeah. But it is honest, and it is unfortunate. But every time he's come onto that pitch, he's just been sluggish. He's not been. He was a championship player. And we brought him down, and it was supposed to be like a huge coup that we got him. And I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what's happened, but maybe he just doesn't fit the mold. I'm not he's still a great player in his own right, but for this side, for this 11, for the bench even, he's just not the cut of mustard that we need.
There's better defenders in our team that we can definitely play. And I think that was shown because he was left out of the side for quite some time. And when I saw him actually starting on the team sheet, I'm just like, oh no, like I've just got a bad feeling about this. And look, that's nothing against the guy. I mean, because he has had some good performances. He's scored some goals, and you know he's done well in certain aspects, but the good doesn't outweigh the bad. And I think that's probably the main thing where I see is that it just doesn't outweigh the bad. And you know, he comes in. He made a few mistakes. He could have cleared the ball into more efficient areas. Wasn't our defense and our forwards definitely weren't handling the pressure from Newport this time. Whether they were flat or not, we don't know. But then, obviously, at 17 minutes mark, was it a red or was it a yellow? Look, I've seen yellows given for that, and I've seen reds given for that, and it really
hindsight's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, hindsight's a beautiful thing, isn't it? So, but the fact is, he made the referees have a decision to make because of his actions. At 17 minutes, playing a side as brutal and as hard pressing as Stockport are when they're at home, and not Stockport, Newport, but bear in mind Newport also beat Stockport. But so they have caused trouble for quite a few teams at the top of the ladder at home. But it basically, I mean, would you say it cost us the game? I don't know.
Nah, probably didn't. Probably didn't. It was. I think the minute we walked out, we were flat, and I think it didn't really matter what happened from then on. It was just going to be shit, anyways. But I think something I want to bring to I guess your opinion, because I know there's been a big opinion on it online. Obviously, the racecourse is the fortress. It is simply where we sit, and we are, good to go. Now, I think 6 of the next 9 are away. Should we be worried because we've only brought 11 points home from away, or is 11 goals?
If we lose to Salford away, then we should be worried.
Good call.
I mean, look, I think most Wrexham fans tend to get a bit nervous with away performances, and I think it goes to show. I mean, look, the fact is our away performances are pretty good. We're sitting second on the ladder. We're doing all right. But it just feels like our style of play away from home is a little bit more stressful than it is when we are at home. Mm-hmm. And I can't quite put my finger on why that is. I don't think anyone knows. I mean, if we're pantsing people at the racecourse, why can't we go away and give the same effort and, back it up. And I think for most part, we probably do. We've just seen a lot more draws. I think maybe it's because it's home side advantage. And in football, home side advantage is generally a little bit more prominent.
Well, I mean, in any league in the world, it is. I just look at your Perth Glory, Rouse's local team. They just won their first away game in your local team, Perth Glory.
We've got a local team?
Yeah.
Fuck off, really?
But honestly, to make my point, it is they just won their first game away from home in 13 months or 11 months, one of them. My maths are not great today, but the point is it is a thing. It's not just in the UK. It's also everywhere around the world. But it does seem to put a bit of a dampener on what should be, guys, no panic stations. But like you said, one more of those results away, especially in the next few games, then we might need to say, okay, something might need to change. And this is being spoiled, by the way. We are being very spoiled. I'm not saying it's the worst thing to ever happen. It's just we want promotion and we want to win this damn league as well. So to do that, we're going to have to make some changes if we can't get the next result in the league. But obviously the next game we have is not in the league. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. No, we'll get on to that. We won't get too far ahead of ourselves at the moment because we're still dissecting this loss.
I just want to move on, mate. I just want to fucking move on.
No, we're going to wallow in it. We're going to stew in it. We're going to bathe in it. We're going to rub it all over ourselves until we're done with it. But I mean, there was a lot of questions that came up from this game, and one of them which really stood out, obviously, other than I mean, I think we possibly could have pulled off a draw if we were still at 11 men. We probably could have grinded them down a little bit. But I mean, you look at the fact that these guys, they were just all over us, pestering us from the start. I mean, Elliot Lee had a run and he couldn't go anywhere, so he chose to go backwards. And this is probably Elliot Lee in his finest. He took two defenders started closing him down and forced him all the way into the corner. And he just turned around and went, nah, fuck this shit. Booted it into the leg of the defender and got the goal kick from it. But I mean, that's Elliot Lee doing Elliot Lee things, and I fucking love Elliot Lee. But I couldn't help but feel that what is going on with Mullen? He's either on or he's not. And the thing I'm sort of putting it down to right now is that he's just not getting the same service as he did last season in the National League. You see countless times that our mids are trying to create a run for Mullen, and Mullen isn't even in the space. They're passing it into spaces where defenders can easily close down instead of directly to where he is. He does look a little bit slower, in my opinion. He's not outrunning defenders like he did last season. But he's also not running into the spaces where the ball is. Now, is that a Mullen thing, do you think? Or do you think that that's on our mids and the service that they're giving him?
Look, it's never black and white. It's definitely a bit of both, really. I guess the first thing, and you've already mentioned it, it was National League last year. So whatever he did last season was always going to be far greater than what he could put out against League Two opposition. In saying that, you are right. He has looked a bit sluggish. He hasn't moved to the positions that we would have liked him to. Is it a bit of synergy? Is it a bit of, is it because of the I guess constant changes? Is it because Mendy's not on the wing? Like, is that something as well? That's something we always got to account for is it because of the change of people and he doesn't really get a chance to kind of get used to who's servicing the ball? And that's why I guess Elliot Lee comes in, because obviously he can move that ball and play that attacking mid-roll and really take the ball on, and really only needs to feed it to Mullen if he's got no other option. Other than that, he's going to take a ping. But the same could have been said about Ollie. Earlier in the year, we had the same kind of assessment. He looked a bit sluggish. It looked like he wasn't getting to the ball as where we wanted. Next week, came out was the best player on the pitch. So I'm hoping by this discussion, Mullen will be the best player on the pitch next week. But I think it is a bit of both, mate. And I think once we kind of sort out these injuries and we can get the lineup that Parky wants and the lineup that the team synergy is at its peak, that's when we'll see Mullen at his force.
Yeah, I think you're I 100% back up what you're saying there actually, because I mean he definitely thrives off creating those runs, and he needs to be either positioning himself in a way. I mean, fuck, we can all be couch coaches at the end of the day,
Yeah. But this is our job. Like, this is what we do as a pod.
Yeah,
you know?
that's right. I guess, and people listen to our opinion. My opinion is Mullen is still great. He's still proven he's got it in him. I mean, he's scored a hat trick this season.
Yeah, man. King of Wrexham. It doesn't change.
Yeah, he's the fucking king of Wrexham. And, I just think if we can get that service to him right, that connection from the mids to the forwards, we will be fucking laughing. And
yep.
And maybe that day's coming. Maybe Newport was just a simple off game. I wasn't expecting to lose a game so soon.
Neither, mate. Neither. That was an absolute shock to the system.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're 17th on the ladder. Yet they've been going on a little bit of a run. Newport, they do all right, and they do pester teams at the top of the table with their style. But
it just happened to be shit.
On paper, you would think you'd be able to beat them because they're not a team that scores highly, but they're also a team that stops people scoring against them quite efficiently as well. And on the weekend when I saw Boyle go off, and then obviously the way the game was unfolding, normally I'm quite optimistic, and I'm saying, yeah, we're going to do this, but I just had that feeling from then. I was like, after Boyle sent off, I just thought this is either going to be a draw or we're going to lose this. And then they scored their goal, and I was just like, that's it. The boys did well to keep it to 1-0. They had a few opportunities, but it just seemed to live in Newport's, attacking half, and it was a bit tough to watch.
But I mean, it comes down to the fact that exactly what you said at the start of this pod. You've said it every week. We both said it every week. It is everyone's big day against us. And if anything, those teams that are up the top, we can manage because their level of, I guess, being dog hungry and wanting, success is already there because they're already at the peak and they need to beat us to continue to stay at that peak. So there's not much movement. So Wrexham can rise to that occasion. Whereas teams like Accrington, Newport, Barrow earlier in the year where that we had that draw. These kinds of teams, can grind out wins themselves, just like we grind out wins against some of those bigger teams. And credit to them, that's their big day, and they will carry on like pork chops. And good on them. And honestly, and it's not like no disrespect. Like I might sound sarcastic as fuck right now, but I mean it. Good on them. Enjoy your time in the sun. But I think for Wrexham, it's head down, bum up, and time to.
Hey, if we were on aggregate, we're still a goal ahead of them. But
I'll take it. I'll fucking take it. I'll take it, mate.
That said, I mean, as well, it's a derby, and when we had this podcast reviewing the Newport game, and I said derbies are derby, tomato, whatever the fuck you call it.
I don't even think they can count it as a derby because it's so far away from each other, even though they're in Wales.
North versus South Wales. I mean, it was a derby. And when they came to the race course, it was still a derby atmosphere. And obviously going away, I mean, they packed out that stadium. It was derby atmosphere. It was intense. It was full on. There was a lot of cards, a lot of cards. I mean, that guy was like a bloody card magician.
He's
Literally
just
just
fucking flying him out, mate.
pulling him out. I mean, how many fucking cards you got in your pocket, son? Jesus.
Mate, I was honestly like someone said a comment, which look, I'm not forgiving Boyle or anything like that, but it's like they said that the ref, like the soon as Boyle did what he did, like the tackle, he just went, it was just like he knew, like he was out for that red. He was like, yes, finally, let's fucking go. And like he just like landed that red down. And it's like, yeah, okay, you know, some days it's called a red, some days it's called a yellow, you know, whatever way which way we change it, it's not going to change the outcome. But it's hilarious because he was, yeah, the ref was hungry to give out a red, and he got it out early.
Do you think there might be like a referees awards at the end of the season for most cards given out, and he's probably trying to make a vie for that? I don't know. I mean,
oh mate, maybe. Who knows? You know, there's betting on everything nowadays. Who fucking knows?
I mean, you just, I've never seen. I mean, there were so many yellows and calls in that game that were just so questionable, and you just like, it's just, why did we have to land that referee? I mean, that referee is renowned for giving out fucking yellows and reds, and it's just, he's just like, why do we have to get him for that game? You know, but
look, I think at the end of the day, we'll forget the ref, but we'll remember the result.
Boyle, you've just said you brought up something really interesting about Boyle, and you're like, his days are done in Wrexham, and I've heard this sentiment a fair bit online now. I mean, he's a championship level defender, but if I was the couch coach and the playing Football Manager 24, whatever it is the youngsters are playing these days,
whatever the youngins are doing,
I would be deregistering Boyle and re-registering Fads.
That is so good. Honestly, man, like I like it is the sentiment. And like you said, you know, he could play. Oh, I can't play next game, but you know, with the suspension and everything. But whenever if he was to be eligible and he did come in, I'm sure he'd probably have an absolute stellar one, and we'd all eat our fucking words. But at the end of the day, it's about consistency, and you can have one good game, two good games, but if you're genuinely out there not putting in the 110% effort that the rest of your teammates side by side next to you are doing, then there's just no fucking point. And no disrespect to him, I guarantee it. He could go back up a league. He could go to a League One team, championship again, and I'm sure he would fit well. But just for our dynamic, it just doesn't work right now. Maybe he'll adapt. Maybe it just needs a bit of time. But how much time can you give?
Yeah. I mean, Parky's got some interesting decisions to make, especially coming up with his team. I was surprised to see so many players out with injury.
It's like that time of the year.
We've got Hayden coming back, and I know you'll be happy with that.
Fingers fucking crossed, mate. He doesn't do his hammy in the warm up.
Yeah, he'll probably come back for maybe 2 or 3 games and do really well, and then he'll be done again for the rest of the season.
Fuck, I hope not. I hope not. I love him to pieces. If he could come back in and just be that man that we need right now, which that is that position, you know, that we need him back, because when he was firing, we were firing. Fuck, could you just, if he can stay fit, if there's anything I can ask the football gods right now, is keep that man fucking fit for at least the rest of the season, get us promotion, and then reassess.
Yep. Feed him some calcium, feed him some protein, you know, give him some massage.
Give him every part of the fucking cow. Just give him every part of the cow, the milk, the steak, the calcium, whatever the fuck. Just get that man with strong bones. I don't know. I know it's not his bones that are breaking, but Jesus, just get his muscles
protein, get the magnesium supplements into him. You know, just go ham and make sure that guy, you know, wrap him in fucking bubble wrap between the week. I mean, just do something to keep him playing, because fuck me dead if I have to see him go off injured one more time, and I'm pretty safe to say his career is done. I mean,
we say that every time.
Is it that you have such a brilliant fucking player? Brilliant. Like, just, I mean, just so good. And then for him to just be so constantly injured. I mean, I was never on his team, and Adrian's like, he's all, and then I watch him, I'm like, yeah, this guy's fucking brilliant. And then all of a sudden, he's getting injured, and then he comes back, he plays well, and he gets injured. He comes back, plays well, gets injured, and you're just like, fucking give me a break. Like this is just. I mean, I can't imagine what it feels like for Hayden, but
Oh, bro.
like,
God, it must be heart fucking wrenching every time he just even imagine you just get pull a muscle, but you're just not sure. You're like, oh fuck, is this another moment? Or you're like, oh, that's all right, it's just a cramp. Like, I don't know, man. Like just the things that man has gone through. But the way I look at it is, and I said this to you last time he got injured because it was brought up on the pod, is he finished while he's coming back? But if we can keep Langdon for what? 3 seasons injured? Two, it feels like 3 seasons, only really 1.5. But he's been injured for as long as he has, still on the roster, still going.
he's still going.
Maybe he's still going, Whereas, like, we got to give Hayden, the grace period because at least, we have a good group. And I think if we can keep them together, including Leighton himself, I'd love to keep them both on board to join us up the leagues and help a
I don't
Okonkwo.
think Leighton. I think Leighton's done.
Nah, he's cooked, but I want him to be with a Okonkwo. I want him to teach a Okonkwo his ways.
I don't think he gets back in the team. Not over.
Nah.
Especially if we sign a Okonkwo for 5 years or whatever deal we're able to get him on. That's it. Leighton's done. He's not getting back into the side. It'll be, and we'll probably, it might even be done with Howard. I don't know, but honestly, I mean, a Okonkwo is just magic.
Magic.
He's just magic, and
I've got to ask you something. I'm so sorry. I've got to interrupt you for 2 seconds. Did you notice that the admin had been like posting like a Okonkwo photos almost to tease us that we're going to sign him, and because we've made no fucking signings in January, like nothing's happened. I mean, obviously we've signed our own players and shit, but I'm talking about like new signings or something that we don't know. And a Okonkwo, they post like an Okonkwo photo, and everyone's like, "Don't tease us, admin. Don't you fucking make us hope. Don't you make us dream." Because honestly, I mean, what are we at? What's the date today? Oh fuck, we're almost the end of Jan, and that's when the window ends. And I think, well, he can't be recalled, which is good. So he's here for us for at least the end of the season. But, oh, fuck, could you imagine the scenes if he walks out on the race course after being signed for fucking 4 or 5 years?
I'm telling you now, if we sign him, it will be announced at the last day of the transfer window.
Like Armstrong with the fucking moon post on Twitter where they're like, oh, he's coming, and then he never came.
Yeah. So I reckon, I mean, there's some interesting developments within that side at the moment. And I think, I've always said we probably don't really need to sign anyone. Some people are saying, like, crying out for it, get us another striker and all that. We don't need another striker. I mean, fuck, we've got our team as it is.
Centre back who's not going to die.
Our depth is amazing. We actually don't really have a big call unless that person is going to come into the squad and make a difference from day dot and really add to the quality of the squad. I don't see Parky making any moves just yet. The only one I really see, I do worry about Fletcher because I know but looking at the reports from Fletcher, he just had a bit of calf tightness and he failed the fit test because of the calf tightness. Now, calf tightness
him in wool, mate.
Could be anything, Give that fucker a bit of a rub and she'll be good.
Yep, that's it.
Right.
And I honestly and I think I feel bad like calling him an oldie, but he's one of the older players. Like we have to be careful because it's a marathon, not a sprint. Why risk him against? Imagine he goes up against Newport, does a serious injury, he's out for the rest of the season, and when we need him towards the end, against Stockport at the end of the year, or any other big game we might have, and we're just kicking ourselves for playing him against Newport. Yeah, we lost. Yeah, we could have done with him, but honestly, Parky, and the medical stuff, I must admit, yes, we're having a lot of injuries, and everyone's like, oh, what's happening? What's going on? Is it this? Is it that? Honestly, that medical staff are incredible because they can bring people back from the fucking dead like Aaron Hayden, and then they can also do the opposite where they can test it out and see, if it works.
Here's something to add to the conversation. So something I really, really actually appreciate about Phil Parkinson, and that is the fact that we were down 1-0. We were down a man. So what does he go and do towards the end of the game? He puts on three strikers. Now that's a ballsy move. To go three strikers. He obviously had Bickerstaff and Palmer up front, and then Mullen just obviously dropped slightly back to be that more central mid attacking player. But essentially, we went with three strikers up front. Now, what I really love about that is the fact that when all the chips were down, the game clearly was on a knife edge. What does he go and do? He takes that risk. He takes the risk of losing another goal to gain a possible draw. And that was purely why he made that move. And it was really smart and really brave. And I think we have got to give kudos to that. That is showing Parkinson, classic Parky, just balls of steel. And I love it. I think we got to give him some credit for the move he made, even though it didn't pay off. We were still able to hold the game at 1-0. So, credit to Parky on that, I guess.
Honestly, credit to him. I'm sorry, I've just muted my mic because the dog's gone absolutely ape shit in the background. But the cool thing about what you mentioned was, it shows the colors of Parkinson. Like, he is such a player, what do you call it? A coach's coach. Other coaches just respect the hell out of him. You hear about it. You hear about other past players that played for him. There's not one person who's got a bad word to say about him. And I mean, proof's in the pudding. He's, and Billy Sharp. But even then, he wants to still play for Wrexham and he wants to play under Parky. So, but like, that is the thing, right? Is, he's showing the rest of this league, because the National League already knew. The teams he's played, he's coached for knew. But this league now knows, right, Parkinson he's not one-dimensional, because all this bullshit of he doesn't change his style is horseshit. He changes it all the time. And his substitutions, like you said, have been instrumental in wins, and sometimes it doesn't pay out. But hey, better to try than to sit back and try and defend a 1-0 loss.
Yeah, and Billy Sharp will never play for Wrexham.
Nah, he won't.
No, he won't. The only side he'll be playing for is underneath Harvey Weinstein's balls. But anyway,
Jesus.
So we've got our women's side as well now.
Yes.
Touch base on our women's game against Cardiff. Now, Cardiff are top of the league. Cardiff are the yardstick. Cardiff are the team to beat.
B team.
They're incredible. We lost 3-0 to them on the weekend. Not a performance of note. So we had two Wrexham losses
against the South, mate. It was two losses in the South, so of Wales. So I honestly, it's hard. Can because
we test those South Walians for performance enhancing drugs? Do you reckon?
Yeah, 100%.
They've been on a bit on the go. Or what?
They've been on the daffodil, like seriously, just smoking that shit. But honestly, like, the biggest one for me out of that loss with the women is, like you said, that's the pinnacle of it's the pinnacle of the Welsh game in women's football. It is Cardiff. Cardiff, obviously Swansea. I think Swansea won the title last year, but like, Swansea is the other one. But honestly, right now, Cardiff are here to stay. And any thoughts of Wrexham coming in to this league and absolutely walking it? No chance. We're coming up against people who I don't think have even left the league to the lower leagues. Do you know what I mean? So to come up against these juggernauts with, experience, and, their affiliate men's team, is in the high leagues as well. So, it's going to show just the professionalism. Our girls have only just really become semi-professional as of recent, and they're coming up against essentially professional women who have, been in the league for a while. So no disrespect to Cardiff. They're an absolutely incredible outfit, but I don't think Wrexham stood a chance, and that's nothing on them. I think give them a couple more seasons in this league. As long as we stay up, for the women's team, it is good to go, and they will be one of the big three with Cardiff and Swansea.
Absolutely. And they've settled into that league so incredibly well. And
Yeah,
I think it's kind of one of those things there. You got to give them time to find their feet, and a lot of them are just they're trying to get their there's a huge disparity between the Cardiff and Swansea, and then the rest of and then I guess there's us, and the rest of
the rest.
the league. I just wanted to bring something up, which we
Yeah, go
will
for it, mate.
talk about, obviously, in this. Actually, no, fuck it. Let's talk about it now. So Wrexham World reached out to us on YouTube, and he had a really interesting point, which I think we should probably discuss. So thank you, Wrexham World, for reaching out. Regarding McLean and Fletcher, it really depends on. This is obviously on whether they go again for another
So
year.
we're talking about the men again now.
Yeah, we're going to bring it back to the men.
Okay,
Right.
no problem.
So, because I just had this and I thought, oh, this one's a really interesting discussion point. So, thank you, Wrexham World. Regarding McLean and Fletcher, it really depends on whether Wrexham is trying for promotion first season in League One. We believe our squad is strong enough to finish mid-table in League One. So, how hard are we going to go on new players? From a financial point of view, it might be good to hold fast with the team we have and do only a few new players for playoff places. From a welcome to Wrexham point of view, do you go somewhat all in and drop half the current squad? Question mark. So basically, to bring that down into a nutshell, he's saying when we go up to League One next year, which looks like that's inevitable, that's going to happen. I
Fingers
think
crossed.
fingers crossed. Without jinxing it, I believe that we're in a very, very good position to go up to League One. Now, if we do go up to League One, do we keep McLean and Fletcher, or do we do a full clean out and drop half the
I
squad
get you.
and and build up a new squad for Wrexham? Now, what do you? I'll let you go first with Adrian. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Look, I think it's been discussed off air, you and I, and I think even with the fuckheads as well. I think the biggest thing is match fitness. McLean, yeah, he's had some niggles here and there. Fletcher has been a bit more injury prone. I would suggest if Fletcher's not fit by the end of the year, then we may be saying goodbye. I don't want to. The man's a fucking legend, the Viking legend that he is. But that could be a problem. I think we keep McLean at least for another one. You need a big guy, and I think we mentioned it. Someone mentioned in the fuckheads chat, and forgive me, whoever it was, but I'll quote you, which was, you need a guy like that who's done it before and is like, don't worry, guys, we fucking got this. So when you've got, people who might have the nerves, the younger kids, the people who maybe have not been to this level before, you want people like McLean backing you up, shit stirring, and almost taking the attention off of the team and the rest, so that they can see him getting in people's faces and they can go, oh yeah, let's do it, and walk through a brick wall for him. So McLean, I think, would stick around. Fletcher, I really hope he does, but I can't give it definitive. And I think he's right. I don't think we sack half the team. I think we hold fast. We make a couple of signings here and there, drop a couple of people that maybe just, aren't making the cut, a la Boyle, and, see how we go. So honestly, I don't think we make any changes that are drastic, just a few here and there, keep McLean and hopefully Fletcher as the super sub. What about yourself, mate?
No, I'm actually, I normally our opinions are night and day, but I actually do kind of agree with you on this one because both of them are proven that their leagues above League Two. I think if we did keep him into next year and we kept Fletcher as an option, we can probably sign another prolific striker. What that means for the Ollie Mullen partnership, I don't know, but that needs time to rebuild, I think. Do we do a clean out? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I do think we have a team that's probably going to be challenged for the top half of League One. Now, whether that means it's good enough for promotion out of League One into the Championship,
Another
I don't
story.
know. You can't call that. You know, it's League One is an extremely massive step up, but yet we seem to be able to do it pretty well. We did it against Shrewsbury to the point that they've sacked their manager. You know, we've proven that we can easily compete.
Just the subtle dig there, just a fucking subtle, just little shank.
just twist the knife. But you know, I think we probably could compete pretty well in League One, and if we make a couple of key signings, maybe another mid, maybe another defender, and maybe a striker of top quality Championship and maybe lower Premier League if we can.
Oof, that'd be good.
You know, we could do it. We could absolutely compete. And I think it would be interesting to see what we go with for that. But Fletcher, McLean, definitely bring him on for another year. Fletcher, I reckon bring him on for another year, but see how he goes. Maybe keep him as a super sub option or a backup option, maybe if things start, you know, if we succumb to a few injuries here and there or something like that. I think that would be the way to go with that.
No, I
Wholesale
like it.
changes. I mean, some people have said that they're going to want to clear out, but I don't think there's any need for a clear out, to be perfectly honest. I think maybe we might get rid of a few hangers on. Uh, I'm looking at guys like Billy Waters, guys like Scott Butler, and you know all those guys that are on the outs of the team and they're sort of playing in the reserves.
Or
Maybe
on
they
loan.
might move on.
Fucking
um,
Waters is on loan now, which is crazy. Like it's, he's gone. What did he go to, Donny?
Doncaster, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and he
So
still
like,
hasn't scored.
no, but and that's awful. But like, it's
I
in.
know.
That's why I know we're not doing wholesale changes. Maybe that's a wrong way to word it. Again, we're being a couch coach here, but I feel like if you're not getting rid of someone like that, selling it to get more money and make quick dividends, whatever, make fucking bank and swap people over, then you're probably not going to. And I think that they're putting him on an I was going to say an excursion on fucking loan. And if he's on loan, then they're hoping that he's either going to make a complete turnaround and he can return to us an incredible player, or we bring up his stocks and we can move him along and then, scrap him for parts. So it'd be real interesting to see how we approach it. But that's my signal from Parky and the board and everyone that we're not going to really change much.
No, why upset the apple cart when it's working well and it will most likely work well through League One as well?
Yep.
Especially if we keep holding a phenomenal home form, which is the best of all 5 leagues. You know,
Just
why
pity
not?
about our fucking away form.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'd walk this league. If we were good in the away games, we'd walk this league.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, but we've got another game we got to talk about coming up. So we're going to end this little segment here and bring on the Fuck All Cup, the FA Cup. After this, let's go.
Fuck, I want to smash Blackburn. Fuck, I want to smash Blackburn. Okay.
So Adrian wants to smash Blackburn. Me, I would probably pass, but anyway.
Smash or pass, yep. Smash or pass Blackburn.
So Blackburn's coming up on a really interesting time, which obviously
if differs from
yeah.
fucking coast to coast.
But I'm going to start this one by saying, fucking told you so, Adrian.
What's
Did
that?
I not say they were going to go for the full stand?
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
I didn't disregard. My favorite when he tells you, I told you so. I'm like, I never disputed it. You're like, but I told you. I'm like, yeah, I know you did. I agree. Like 100%. And he's like, I fucking told you. I'm like, no shit.
So we got the full 7,000 capacity stadium. We have completely sold out our allocation, and Blackburn
and the 5 Blackburn.
Theirs.
Yeah, the 5 Blackburn fans are going to have an absolute riot. So It'd be real interesting. It'll be very similar to the Coventry game.
Yeah.
Like that wall of red and then just scatters of blue around. But honestly, mate, Blackburn, I said it off air and I'll say it again. I want to win. And I know that everyone's like, well, it's a hit, it's a free hit. If we don't beat them, no shit, we shouldn't be beating a team like Blackburn. But if we win, like we're moving to a point of actually probably pulling a Premier League side after that.
Put it this way, Adrian, right? Just think of it this way. Every single game we've lost, we've come back the following week and fucking nailed it.
Yep.
Now, if I'm Blackburn right now, and I know this, I do not want to be Blackburn. Because the Wrexham fucking army, the Red Army, they be coming, and they be coming with a fucking vengeance. And I feel really good about this game now after coming off that loss against Newport. The boys will be out for blood. It'll be intense. It'll be juicy. It'll be quick.
Wall of sound, mate.
I think in hindsight, the Blackburn game is a lot easier than the Coventry game was last season. You are generally looking at a team that's sort of on the lower end of the table in the championship. And I mean, geez, you're going to be coming up against a fucking fired up Wrexham side. They want to progress. They want to do well. And we can just take solace in the fact that we're most likely going to go through and Newport are going to get fucking stomped by Manchester United.
Honestly, mate, like I want that positivity, because on that same positivity, we should have stomped Sheffield last year, and obviously it didn't work out that way. So I just think at this point, I think we'll win. I'm pretty confident. But in saying all of that, I think the big perspective we need to take, new fans and old fans, is win-win. Really is win-win. Enough of the free hit shit. Like I hate it's like, oh, it's a free hit, whatever. Like same saying, but the difference here is go all out. Don't hold back. Just fucking go at it. And if it comes up trumps, great. And we fucking all of a sudden we're into another round, and we would probably pull a Premier League opponent, probably. Knowing our luck, it'll be fucking, I don't know who, but it could be someone lower than us. But at the end of the day, this is, if we lose, it's actually probably better for us, because then we can focus on the league. We can focus on trying to take it on and do it. But the way I look at it is, if these boys want any like inkling of, I want to be here next year and I want to be the first on the team sheet, I'm looking at your Clairworths. I'm looking at your even to the point of Barnett, who's playing exceptional. You want these guys to stand out, because if they stand out when it comes to next year and you're coming up against League One opponents most likely, then you want to make sure that you're signed, you're not on the chopping block, you're not being switched for someone who might be of a higher ilk. You want to be there every fucking game. And these are the games you want to prove it. These are the games that people remember. So, at the end of the day, we win, great. Memories made for a lifetime. We lose, we move on and we focus on the league. Win-win.
Win-win, yeah. But we are going to win. I mean,
we said that about Newport, mate. We said that about Newport.
Inevitable. I mean, I know we said that about Newport, but I mean, it's hard to call those games.
And Barrow draw, couple of them. Wimbledon.
Shut the fuck up. We said a couple of
them. But
just rub it in.
Does it not? I mean, does it not? Does it not? Does it not worry you that it's away?
No.
It won't feel like it's away though, will it? It'll feel like a home game.
I think we're going to take more fans there than Blackburn will. So
yeah, agreed. 100%.
It's going to be fiery. It's going to be juicy. I think it's got all the makings of a solid FA Cup. The fact they put it on the time that they did, on a Monday, was it Monday night, which is going to be Tuesday morning for us. The fact that they put it on that time, now that sucks. And the fact is, you've heard a lot of the negatives. You know, they want to bring those big club games.
Fuck those big club games. That's not what the FA Cup's about.
I know, but they want to cover those big cup games, obviously in England and whatnot. And you know, it's like fuck the people in Wales. You know, I really feel for the people of Wales and the Wrexham fans and people that are trying to follow Welsh teams because Welsh teams seem to get
Shafted.
they get shafted, mate. They get fucking shafted, just like they do from their politicians. But no, we're not going to get political.
Well, I'm just looking. Sorry, I was just looking at the teams.
This is coming from an English boy. I'm fucking born in England, and I'm siding with the Welsh. I mean, fuck me dead. What's going on? But anyway,
yeah, mate. Well, mate. I looked at I was just looking at the FA Cup teams, and I was just like, you know, you're right. Like the games that are like situated on those certain days, it's fucked. It's bullshit. But the biggest one for me, and I
wanted Wrexham on TV still, that's why they said, oh, they'll put it on Monday night.
Well, the big one for me is Ipswich play Maidstone United, which is huge for Maidstone. Like, I mean, they wanted a bigger draw. I don't know if you saw their reaction when they got drawn with Ipswich. They had everyone in the fucking rooms and they're like, oh, and then they got Ipswich. They were like, oh, like, and it was like, Ipswich will walk the park with them. I don't doubt it. They are on fire, but it's just so funny that like, even they're probably going to be a Premier League team next year, and they're just everyone's like, like that sucks. Like, and like Mason United shouldn't be picky, but that's a game I want to watch now. I don't know if that one's being televised. So comment down below if it is or it isn't. But I know that their last game wasn't televised, and they had an epic win last round, and it didn't get televised. And it's because of the bullshit. Oh, we want to see the big clubs because it makes more money. That's not what the FA Cup's about. Save that for your Premier League horse shit, your fucking championship lineups, whatever. But do not fuck with the FA Cup because that's the magic of the cup. And they have ripped it, taken the rug from under those clubs, and all of a sudden, they'll probably get televised when they lose, and they won't be able to go, oh, remember we were on the telly when we had a big win against, you know, fucking Bolton. No, it's going to be, oh, remember that time we got embarrassed 10-0 on the telly? Like, come on. Like, it's horseshit. It's a little too late.
The only time I want to see a 10-0 win is that Manchester United versus Newport game.
Oh, I feel
although realistically, if Manchester play Onana, they're fucked.
Nana's in the he's probably on a flight.
Put a deck chair down in the goal and just fucking sit there the whole game and let shit go over him. I mean, fuck me dead.
He's playing in the Africa Cup right now, like the African Cup of Nations
goalkeeper.
Yeah, well, he's in the African Cup of Nations right now, and I'm pretty sure he's the dog who like went, oh, I'm not flying in like everyone else. I think he missed the first game because he's like, oh, I want to play. You don't disrespect your nation like that. If you're getting called up, you go when you're asked, right? Or you don't go at all. You go one or the other. You don't say, I pick my games when I want. So he picked his games. Guess what? He came back, he played, and guess what? They lost 2-0. And like, this guy was meant to be like, oh, it's all right. We'll be a walk in the park. Nah, Anana, like, honestly, like, I was giving him the benefit of the doubt towards the start of the season. Now he's become a fucking joke because he thinks he's bigger than he is. That's the problem. I don't care if he tries his heart out and it doesn't pan out. The guy is cocky as fuck, and he's walked into his nation's team fucking off a fucking red-eye flight and let two past him and let down his entire country. That's fucked. So honestly, Newport, you're probably fucked because Anana's not going to be playing. If Onana somehow gets knocked out before then, which is very likely, he'll probably fly back to play that game, and then you'll win 6-0. So don't worry. Like, it all depends on the pendulum swing of Onana rocking up.
Yeah. And hey, if it doesn't work out for him, there's always Nantwich. So
fucking hell.
He can go to the bloody farmers leagues. I mean, Jesus, Okonkwo's better than Onana. I mean, I'll be worried that Manchester United might want to try and poach him, but I mean, they've got a good backup in David De Gea, so we fucking use him.
I don't think didn't they sack him?
No, he's still in there.
Pretty sure they sacked him, didn't they?
Goalkeeper, isn't he?
Let me to the Google machine. This is because we're so focused on the EFL that we don't give a fuck about the Premier League.
Yeah, fuck the Premier League. I don't know why I even know why we're talking about it. It just sort of went
Nah,
off on a tangent.
he's currently a free agent.
Is he?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well,
Wait,
hey,
what club is he currently? So no, you're right. He says he's still technically at Man U. I thought he got sacked, but who knows? Who gives a fuck?
who gives a
Fuck the
fuck?
Premier League. I mean, until we're there, I don't give a fuck. Like I just genuinely don't care.
That's true. That's true. So, all right. Well, so we've got a game. It is a
Ooh, a
game. It's
game.
going to be a good game.
A game.
What do you think it's going to be, Adrian? What do you think the score is going to be?
2-1 Wrexham.
2-1.
Close one. I'm talking nail biter down to the wire. 2-1.
I'm going to go outside the box, and I'm
Do
going
it.
to say 4-2 to Wrexham.
Ooh, okay.
Hmm.
Because you are right. When Wrexham want to fire back, they are literally all out attack. Like, let's talk about like Swindon against Swindon during the year, that draw, fucking score fest. Even against the loss against MK Dons earlier in the year, same thing. So I wouldn't put it past it. 4-2. Maybe we concede too early and then we get 4 back. That'd be pretty good.
Well, that would be an exciting game. So definitely one I'll be waking up at 3:15 in the morning to watch.
Nope.
Have to make sure
Fuck
that
that.
just have to make sure I get an early night and get a rest. I mean, I like
It seems to
time, but
rotate.
your time would be worse because you would have to you would miss like some of the game because you'd have to get to work and shit like.
Correct. Second half. Well, so I'm still got to drive to work. And what I'm going to do is, and I don't know if anyone else has clocked this or not in Australia or not, but if you keep your Paramount Plus like app going, which is where the game will be aired on for all Aussie people are asking, Paramount Plus, if
All
you keep it
games
playing
live.
all games live and you lock it and then you hit play on the screen like it's a song, the audio will just still come through the Bluetooth. Whereas if you try and keep the picture going and you keep doing it, I think it just stops. But anyways, that's what I'll be doing. I'll be listening as if I'm there. So that'll be fun. And fuck, man, I really hope we bring that big Wrexham Raw down there and just, I'd love a win. If we don't win, guys, it's not the end of the world, guys. And that's another thing is don't be too spoiled. If we don't get up, but I'm pretty sure we will.
I'm quietly confident on this one, especially given that track record of how Wrexham play off a loss. So let's just go with that. All right, guys, we're going to wrap things up after this.
Fuck, it's already.
Yeah, I know it's gone quick. Let's
Jesus.
after this, let's wrap things up. Righto. Beer brethren, Sheilas, fuckheads, and all-round legends. That is it for another week. I had to think about what the fuck I was saying there, but anyway.
I still don't remember the name of our pod, mate.
Oh yeah, two beards, a podcast, and Wrexham AFC.
or 2 beards, 1 cup. It's one of them.
I thought that was the way Feels and Devotion were going to go there with a light. Tim was on. I was on 2 beard, 1 podcast. Wrexham AFC.
I was like, is he in it?
1 podcast? Are you serious?
The disrespect. No, we love Tim. And like, honestly, shout out to Tim for shouting us out on his pod and then doing Rousey's Elton John song, which you would have heard at the end of last week anyways. But honestly, Tim, bloody ledge. And just get our pod name right.
that was a very interesting episode. So and I also want to shout out to one of our fuckheads, Sir Wrexham Texan the Third, Jake Green, posting on Instagram about his opinions for old Georgie Evans. I saw that. I thought, mate, that's just heartwarming. He comes in, we get to teach these Americans about how football really is. And, we're working on him.
The arrogance. The arrogance. Honestly, if you are an
I
American and you do
guarantee
listen to
you
us,
won't hear the words kick save come out of his mouth. And if you do, he's going to
slap
be
him.
answering to me in the Discord.
Honestly, no, look, and I think the best part is like American, like that we, the Americans cop the worst out of every Wrexham fan, which sucks because like they're the ones who've come in their numbers, and it's like, yeah, I like Wrexham, and then everyone on Twitter's like, fucking Yanks, fuck this, fuck that. But at the end of the day, they're actually more passionate than most people are about their local. Half those Newport fans weren't there the other week when their team was filling out a half stadium, that's for sure. But you've got a family of 3 Americans flying over and going there to have a day out, and even with the loss, still had one of the best days of their life. Come on, mate. Like that's being a fan. Doesn't matter if you've been a fan for 2 minutes or you've been a fan your whole life. If you've got that kind of passion, you've got that dedication.
Yeah,
then you're good with us.
Exactly. And you'll get fans from opposing teams calling, jumping on the bandwagon, all that sort of stuff. It's like, well, hey, we all had to jump on the bandwagon at some point, and we became lifelong fans. Look, some of these fans, they might not be here once the documentary goes. It might die off a little bit. So what?
But every club does.
They're going to be here. We're here for life.
Do you think the people of Blackburn, when they won the Premier League, and they talk about us buying the league, by the way, and they literally bought a Premier League title, but we'll get into that later. Honestly, Blackburn fans did the same thing. It was a huge rush. There was so many people. Everyone's selling out the stadium, and now they can't fill a stadium to save themselves. Yes, it's to do with shitty owners. Yes, it's to do with all this other shit. But that's football. Football has ebbs and flows. Doesn't matter what league, doesn't matter what team. There'll be ups and downs. When you're winning, you're on it. Why do you think the highest memberships are of the teams who are winning? Because that's how it is, unfortunately. But for us, it doesn't matter. We win, lose, or draw. We're there. Rain, hail, or shine from now on till the rest of our days. Fuck, It's inked on my arm. I just punched my monitor. Don't know if you saw that, but I literally almost put my fist through a computer monitor.
What? You have a fucking fantastic point there. Unless you're Man City and you want to want the rules for 8 years and try
100 and what is it? 119?
115.
115. There you go. Sorry, I gave him 4 extra ones.
I tell you what. I mean, I'm surprised at how this one's dragging out. I mean, it's definitely something that you want to pay attention to, because the Premier League, if they can't make a single one of these charges stick, they're gonna look like fucking numpties, I tell you.
Well, and then what? They're fisting Everton in the corner as well.
Yeah, they're fucking over Everton and what, Nottingham as well.
Yeah, literally, they're just like, oh, 1 charge. Yeah, okay, they did it. But you're telling me the 115 charges, you can't get 1, but you can get 1 out of these lot? I hate that. But you know what? At the end of the day, those true Man City fans, there are true Man City fans out there as well who were there during the dark days and who do get to reap the rewards. I fear for them, because if they get all of their fucking points stripped, they get because essentially, if they get convicted, I think it's of more of a certain amount, they're basically going to get relegated, and all of a sudden we'll be in a higher division than them. So it's one of those weird and wonderful things.
Too. Send them back
if 115 charges. National League North, mate. No, come on.
Yeah, I mean, it depends where they get relegated to, but very interesting story, that one. I mean, you
Chester will probably fucking play him at this point.
Yeah, Chester will get to them before we do. Oh, dear. Hey, but we can always go on and try and launch a coup and steal Haaland or someone. De Bruyne.
Oh, fuck. Honestly, it sounds awful, but there's 2 ways I look at it. With Ange Postecoglou at Spurs, I want Sonny. I want Heung-min Son to play for Wrexham. He's already said he likes the story. He loves the owners. He loves a bit of the flashy stuff. Honestly, there's 2 ways about it. Either Ange is an absolute raging success and Tottenham go up, go up. They can't go up any further, but they, do well, or they do shit, and all of a sudden, we're climbing the ladder. He's getting a little older. I want him. Just as much as you want Declan Rice in your team, I want Sonny playing for Wrexham. So we can say it's always Sonny in Wrexham.
Oh, there you go.
And on that note, have a good night.
How long were you thinking about that one?
Fucking weeks.
Well, On that note, we're going to leave it with that absolute banger from Adrian. That was just perfection. Guys, like, share, subscribe the shit out of this. Thank you for all 1,500 of you that have signed up and subscribed to our channel. Absolutely fucking phenomenal. We love you. Beer brethren, shillers, fuckheads, all-round legends. See you next week on Two Beards, a podcast, and Wrexham AFC. Up the town.
Woo!
Crunch time, got a game to win. Never take an L cause I play to win. My will is strong, my name is him. It's fire in my eyes, got a flame within. When I fail, I will prevail. Heads and tails, I had to nail. Face my fears and conquer thrones. Put it on the line when it's time to go. Oh, they wanna talk about greatness. Putting in work like a day shift. Ball so hard, need a Naismith. This is my time, won't waste it. Won't waste it. This is my time, won't waste it. I won't waste it. This is my time, won't waste it.